Club Citgo makes paying easy with a convenient mobile pay feature. So welcome to the club where all the action is. Download Club Citgo today. Savings scoot up to 30 gallons, only at participating locations. Data rates may apply.
Two Wisconsin icons are teaming up on a reworked classic. Cousin Subs and U-Zingers are proud to introduce the all-new Fried Bologna Sub, featuring U-Zingers fried bologna, bacon, American cheese, onions, pickles, mayo, and mustard on fresh-baked Italian bread. And that's not all. Pair your fried bologna with a creamy cupcake shake topped with whipped cream and rainbow sprinkles. Now that's a better combination. Order both in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Mike Spaulding and Julia Fello.
Oh my goodness, that game was so good.
What a game.
Even sweeter that they won against the Cubs.
Yeah, always is. It always is. It made us a little nervous, though.
I know. I don't. What was with that strike or not?
Cruising along. We're cruising along 8-3, and then the eighth inning happens, and the Cubs just all of a sudden couldn't not score, couldn't not get hits. Ian Happ had a home run. There was a Dansby Swanson absolute bomb also that, cut into the lead, and then it got real iffy there towards the end. Uribe couldn't find a strike zone whatsoever, but ultimately the Brewers pick up an 8-7 win.
The stretch, he stays, the pitch. Ground ball left side, that could be two, to second for one. On to first, double play, ball game over.
And that's how it ended for your Milwaukee Brewers, beating the Chicago Cubs by a score of 8-7. As we said, it wasn't always that tense. They were up 8-3 at one point, but the Cubs climbed back into it on a very windy day out at Wrigley Field. Do you feel like when we're getting into the show from a game that you're uber locked into you had like the StatCast up watching every single pitch?
Yeah, pitch of 100 miles an hour. That was incredible. I know. I'm looking at every little thing. Was that inside the box or outside the box?
Julia was arguing balls and strikes. With us just two in the studio.
Yes.
It's a super big day for the show. We're like jam packed. I think Sandy Max called it. It's a show that's just pure concentrate. There's no water in there whatsoever.
Yes. Okay. So I have two crime stories that sound straight out of a made-for-TV movie. One right here in Wisconsin. Investigators say they found the culprit of women being poisoned with cyanide. Yes. And then we'll also go to Brad Garrett. He's the ABC News crime analyst talking about the Karen Reed trial, capturing the international news out of Boston. He takes us into the crux of what Karen Reed was just acquitted of. Plus, we have an extreme heat watch going on for Kenosha, Racine, and Milwaukee counties coming up this weekend through Monday. We'll have meteorologist Brian Isnansky with TMJ4 News. He's a chief meteorologist. And also, we're going to talk about EAA coming up next month. We also have to look forward to the Summerfest.
Summerfest. It's Juneteenth today.
Juneteenth, yeah.
No fantastic shortage of things going on in Milwaukee, that's for sure.
All right, it's 4:42 on WTMJ. We'll be right back with your traffic and weather.
It's happened again. Another local organization switching to business technology from James Imaging Systems. This time, it's St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care. CFO Sally Parente.
We were unhappy with our previous vendor. It was always a big production. We also had some issues with pricing.
And now with James Imaging Systems,
the service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. We're getting value here as well.
Just what you'd expect from James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed company. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation.
I love that they're a local company. They've been a wonderful business partner for St. Anne Center.
Make the switch to James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Lake Geneva is the Midwest's premier golf destination, featuring breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Treat yourself to an all-inclusive golf getaway with courses designed for all skill levels, luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a Lake Geneva group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. Their pros will help you plan a memorable golf experience. For info on courses and more, visit lakegeneva.com today. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for legendary golf.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. You're going to love this. There's free pizza today at the Amazing Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford. Business owners, managers, coaches, listen up. Check this out. Every Thursday, when you buy one pizza, your second pizza's free. Buy 2 pizzas, get 2 free. Buy 5, get 5 free pizzas. You got a big hungry crew. Buy 20 pizzas, get 20 free. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees and your clients. They'll appreciate you big time. Coaches, bring in your soccer, baseball, basketball, track, tennis team. It's free pizza at the Mind Chef restaurant. And your players are going to love that world-class game room, super affordable team bonding. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford. It's right off Highway 41 in Oshkosh. 2 locations, easy to get to, lots of close parking, plenty of seating. And a reminder, the Friday all-you-can-eat fish fry is $7.99. What a crazy low price. So don't cook today. Order now and pick up your pizza shortly, or dine in and enjoy your free Thursday pizza. MindChefRestaurant.com. Big food, big fun. It's the Mine Shaft.
Unfortunately, violence is on the rise in Milwaukee, and this is a problem which impacts us all. But together we can make a difference. Please join me and the 620 WTMJ team on Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to noon for our 3rd annual Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE. Now it's time to bring an end to the senseless violence in our community and to encourage a safer Milwaukee for us all. To join our Walk Against Violence on Saturday, July 12th, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment, Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
All right, we got some rain outside. Let's see how it's dealing with our traffic with Debbie Lassiga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there. Yeah, we've got a few issues out there right now. Of course, we've got delays everywhere, but then we've got a couple of accidents. One on 894 southbound, off on the right shoulder, just south of Greenfield Avenue. So heads up with that. Got delays right past that scene. More delays then from National Avenue down and around the Hale interchange, pretty much all the way to 60th Street. And then on westbound 94, we've got another crash. This is on the left shoulder, just before Moreland Road. That's going to be causing some issues right around that curve there, so be careful with that. Eastbound 94 slowing down from before Highway 16 all the way through the Barker Road area. You're back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange all the way to 35th Street. And then southbound 43, that's got your backups from before Good Hope Road all the way down to about Silver Spring, and then back on the brakes from just before Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly clear tonight, the low will be 65. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a slight chance of rain, a high of 82. Then we have a 3-day extreme heat watch for Kenosha, Racine, and Milwaukee County, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. High temperatures will be 95 to 98 degrees. Feels like the heat index could be up to 106. Saturday and Sunday will be quite breezy as well, then less of a breeze on Monday. High temperatures will fall back into the mid-80s on Monday. Possibility of thunderstorms Monday night. And right now in Milwaukee, it's a little bit sunny after the rain went through at 77 degrees.
Gary Clark Jr., one of the artists headlining tonight at Summerfest. He'll be playing the Miller Lite Oasis stage at 10:15. If you find yourself going to the big gig, you can always stop by our mobile studio. Say hi to Sandy Max. She'll be broadcasting live with What's on Tap starting at 6 p.m.
That's so fun. Weekend of Summerfest is just ahead. All right, so I have 2 different crime stories that sound like they're from some type of mystery novel. One right here in Wisconsin, investigators say they found the culprit of 2 women they say were being poisoned with cyanide. Yes, you heard that right. But first, the Karen Reed murder trial, capturing international news out of Boston. Brad Garrett is with ABC News. He's a crime analyst. Brad takes us into the crux of what the Karen Reed trial was about and acquitted of. Brad, thank you for joining us. Can you just get us up to date? If no one's ever heard of this before, can you give us in a nutshell what happened? Do we have him? All right. Well, maybe we don't have him. So should I go to the Milwaukee thing?
Let's go Milwaukee first. We'll catch up with Brad here on the other side.
Okay. We'll go to the Wisconsin thing, and then we'll get back to Karen Reed. So this Middleton woman was going to a Costco this past year, like all of us have. On 2 separate occasions, her car was broken into. The first time was about a month ago. She comes out with all of her stuff and finds Good Samaritans who were surrounding her car, saying, "Your car was broken into." She thanked them and she took a swig of her water bottle and quickly spit it out because it tasted weird. The second time, same Costco, another Good Samaritan waved her down when she approached her car again, saying a man had just broken into her car. She thought, this is fishy. She went for a new water bottle that she just had in her car, and it smelled off. She called 911. You want to know what detectives found in that bottle?
What?
Cyanide. Highly toxic. If you're exposed to it, the symptoms happen within seconds of breathing it in and minutes following ingestion. This exact same thing happened to another woman who was under investigation in Rock County. She saw powdery substance in the vents of her car. She got sick when she gulped some water she had in her car after working out and was hospitalized. Doctors found she had cyanide, consumed it. What these two victims had in common was that they went out with the same guy, Paul Van Doyen. They then spotted him at the scene of the crime at both of the Costcos with the surveillance video going into his ex's cars, and then found searches related to cyanide and poisonings. And it gets worse. Prosecutors say that the brains behind all of this to execute these poisonings was his current girlfriend, Andrea Whitaker, now charged in court documents that she had studied pharmacology, she had knowledge of how to make poisons, and court documents say the two plotted to kill the women he had previously dated by poisoning them with cyanide and mixing it with Valium in each of their water bottles.
So we know all this. I'm assuming someone is under arrest, yes?
Yes. There's evidence that the two were talking about it through text messages, and in the Rock County case, investigators were able to test the powder in the Janesville victims' vents, and it came back positive for cyanide and Valium. So authorities were then following that suspect for days, Mike, to answer your question. They closed in on him at 11 Sunday night when he was showing up to the victim's home. And they found cyanide in the suspect's apartment, prompting a hazmat scene. 7 Wisconsin Department of Justice agents were hospitalized because of the exposure. And then the charges the two are now facing include attempted murder, drug charges, stalking. The current girlfriend also is charged with harboring and aiding a felon, as well as attempting to destroy evidence, with the suspect calling Whitaker to have her remove items from his house. And when searching her phone, they found multiple messages between the couple discussing different poisons. So that's a horrifying crime that we are staying on top of. Okay, it sounds like we do have Brad Garrett with ABC News. This is an international story now. The Karen Reed murder trial now acquitted, capturing the news of the nation as well. Brad, for someone who has never heard about the Karen Reed murder trial, can you tell us in a nutshell what it was about?
So Karen Reed dated a Boston PD police officer. And we're talking now the suburbs outside Boston. They'd been dating for a couple years. They went out with other law enforcement folks to maybe more than one bar, but they were out for several hours. It's now 1 o'clock in the morning. Karen's police officer boyfriend, the last name's O'Keefe, wanted apparently to keep partying, so she drove him out to another law enforcement officer's house, another Boston PD officer, and dropped him off at 1 in the morning. And that part of the story seems to be consistent across the board. It sort of breaks down as far as what the prosecution and defense claim happened next. Prosecution claims that he got out of the car, then Reed puts the car in reverse and drives over him. And he's got serious head injuries. I think the pathologist said, the medical examiners, that he died of the head injury and hypothermia because it's January in Boston. So you can imagine how cold it was. So that's one story. That's how she ultimately got charged. It went to trial back in 2022. That's also when the crime occurred in 2022. And the jury hung. They apparently said that she got charged with 3 things. She got charged with manslaughter, second-degree murder, and driving under the influence. And they had decided they were not going to convict her of second-degree murder, but were hung on manslaughter. And eventually the judge called this trial. The prosecution regroups in 2024 and retries her. I think the big difference between the two trials is that the defense did an excellent job in poking holes in the government's case. Because one of the things, if you're the defense, you always look for are inconsistencies or things that weren't done correctly. So they got this whole laundry list from the crime scene where O'Keefe's body was found, which was in snow. Apparently there was like a blizzard the night this happened. And they were using things like Dixie cups to pick up ice with blood in them. Yeah, and apparently some other issues in reference to how it was collected, how it was preserved. That's one aspect, and it goes on and on. There's so many examples here. The cops in the house were sending inappropriate texts to each other about Karen Reed. Two of them got rid of their phones, even though they were subpoenaed to turn their phones in. It may or may not have anything to do with the case, but it's all of those things and a bunch of others.
And it happened in the front yard of a cop's house, and they never went in the house to investigate. And that's where the defense says something may have happened. Karen Reed says he went into the house and never came back out. Now, the prosecution was saying, no, he never went into the house. She backed into him at a little more than 24 miles an hour, broke her tail light, and that ripped his arm. But a lot of people, a lot of crime analysts that the defense brought forward was saying, no, those look like dog puncture wounds. That didn't come from a tail light.
Right. And that particular forensic expert also said that the even the head injuries were not consistent with being hit by Karen's car. Now, obviously, the prosecution put somebody on to say the opposite of that. So when you take each one of these things that we've talked about, among a bunch of other things, individually, do they mean a whole lot? Well, the evidence stuff does, in my mind. But be that what it may, I think it created doubt in the jury's mind of the unprofessional behavior by law enforcement in this case.
And the only other thing, Brad, because we only have a minute left, is that there was a dog in the house named Chloe. She's known to bite two other people who were also investigated with the dog and was rehomed after this happened. It's a German Shepherd. And also that there was some distrust within that police department in that area. Can you talk about that?
Well, there were, I don't know what you're talking about specifically, but there clearly were issues with the tail light. When a Canton police officer, it's another department near Boston, go to seize Karen's car, and this is not right away, this is sometime later, he contends the taillight was broken but intact, which would go against what was found at the crime scene, which was apparently there were pieces of a taillight found there. There were apparently hairs of the victim, O'Keefe, on Karen Reed's bumper. Now, I think they lived together, so that you could maybe rule that out. I'd have to know more context, but like we both said, there's a lot of other things we could talk about. But it was pretty clear to me that the jury just couldn't get to beyond a reasonable doubt. That there's some reasonable doubt that she didn't do this.
Yeah. Well, Brad Garrett with ABC News, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Take care.
Karen Reed was found guilty with one thing, OUI, operating under the influence, like her OWI. She admitted to drinking before getting behind the wheel and dropping off John O'Keefe. And as for what happened, how he was killed, it's still unknown. It's 4:57 on WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. Annex invites you to know the difference. They're local, independent, and deeply rooted in Southeast Wisconsin's communities. Not all financial advisors are equal, and that matters. Their investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning teams, they're right here, not some distant call center. Now's the time to get serious about your financial path. As you take that step, ask, is your advisor a fiduciary, putting you first all the time? Are they experts in tax strategies? Can they craft an estate plan that truly reflects your legacy? These aren't just questions. They separate genuine guidance from a sales pitch. Annex tailors solutions to your needs, whether it's Annex Comprehensive Wealth for a complete strategy, Annex Private Client for complex goals, or Annex Ignite for a simple start. They've got you covered. Visit AnnexWealth.com, click Get Started, and schedule your appointment today. Today's a great day to put Annex Wealth Management on your side. Thorough, local, it's Annex.
News is sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations right now. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at this newly renovated Milwaukee icon. Enjoy fine dining at acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Wells Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia problems, cognitive decline. It's their specialty. They're great at it. And they also offer early memory loss classes. They can help your loved one with locations throughout our state, many here in southeast Wisconsin. I've been in their facilities. They're top notch. It's kindness at the core. It's compassion and empathy at Azura. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Summer's officially here, and Fleet Farm's ready to go with unbeatable outdoor deals. Stock up on 24 packs of Fleet Farm bottled water. On sale now, just 2 for $5. Get 20 pounds of Bear Mountain barbecue pellets for $7.99 a bag. And spruce up your yard with bags of Superior Weed and Feed for just $19.99. Whether you're grilling or chilling, get what you need at the best prices guaranteed this summer at Fleet Farm. And check out all our deals at fleetfarm.com.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech decking installer. We install anything decks and more. Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Join the free smoothie party at Tropical Smoothie Cafe on Saturday, June 21st for National Smoothie Day. Tropic Rewards members get a free smoothie with bowl or food purchase. Terms and conditions apply.
Traffic is sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield makes vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
The biggest gig in the world has finally returned. Summerfest is here. And WTMJ will be broadcasting live from the Fello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio, right on the lakefront. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fello. Your top story this half hour is celebrations popping up across our city.
I'm Mike Spaulding, and for John Mercure, fighting continues across the Middle East.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Still have an accident 894 southbound, just south of Greenfield Avenue, off on the right shoulder, so heads up with that. It's going to be a little bit tight right past that point, but where we're really seeing delays is basically from Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale interchange to Forest Home. Eastbound 94, backing up from before Highway 16 all the way to about Calhoun. More delays from the zoo all the way to about 35th Street, and then it eases up. So if you're heading into Summerfest, should be able to make it in without too much of an issue. Southbound 43, that's kind of a heavy ride. Right now we've got backups from Good Hope Road all the way down to about Silver Spring, and then you're back on the brakes just before Capitol Drive all the way down past the North Avenue area, only to slow down again right through the Marquette down towards the KK River. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Clear tonight, a low of 65. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a slight chance of rain throughout the day. The high will be 82. Right now, it is mostly sunny and 72 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, celebrations across the country to commemorate Juneteenth holiday It marks the day in 1865 when Union soldiers brought the news of freedom to enslaved black people in Texas. One of the oldest celebrations is right here in Milwaukee, the city's 54th annual Juneteenth Jubilee Parade.
I feel like a lot of kids don't know what Juneteenth is. We know a lot about the 4th of July, but we don't know about the freedom of African American people. So for have them to come out and see everyone celebrating, everyone dressing kente cloth, getting food that we like to eat, things like that we can come together and celebrate with no drama and having a good time.
The celebration continues at the Summerfest grounds starting at 6 o'clock.
Speaking of the Summerfest grounds, Julia, the world's largest music festival is now underway.
Perfect weather produced some big lines at the gates. Carson Crawshaw was one of the first to enter the festival grounds.
I think all the people coming out and coming together, and it's just always a good time. There's good food, good music, and I love that it's right on the lake. Can't get better than that.
Def Leppard highlights tonight, plus there will be Juneteenth programming for the first time in the festival's history. At Summerfest, Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Israel's defense minister threatened Iran's supreme leader after Iranian missiles damaged a hospital in southern Israel and hit residential buildings near Tel Aviv. At least 240 people were wounded. The White House announced today that the president will decide whether or not to join Israel's campaign against Iran's military and nuclear program in 2 weeks.
A bleak financial situation facing the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office. The Journal Sentinel says the MCO is now projecting a more than $7 million deficit for the end of 2025, with a projected overtime deficit of about $9 million. Those similar issues have plagued the agency for decades, including under former sheriffs David Clark and Arnell Lucas.
Coming up, is it wise to have ChatGPT look over your SAT essay?
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 5:05.
I'm Jim Token, president of the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. Nobody can keep your car running smoothly like an Adam new car dealer. Adam service technicians are factory trained and use original factory parts backed by a warranty. Best of all, you'll find competitive pricing equal to or even lower than independent shops. A well-maintained car delivers maximum gas mileage and saves you money. Call an Adam dealer today because you're always better off at an Adam new car dealer.
Get an oil change and safety inspection today.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasslis. I'm Weston. What's your question?
How do you get pee out of an old mattress?
Well,
I'm asking for a friend.
The best way to remove urine from a mattress is to trade in that old mattress for a new Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic.
But that'll cost a lot of money.
Not at Hasslis Mattress. Through Monday, trade in your old mattress and get additional savings of $248 off a queen and $348 off a king. And that's on top of our everyday low prices.
Come on, everybody says lowest prices.
Others sell a Sealy Posturepedic Queen Emeryville A mattress for $1268. Hasslis sells it for $1034. But through Monday, it's just $786. And check out the low prices on Beautyrest and more. Plus, free next day delivery.
What does my friend do with his old soaked mattress?
We haul it away for pee.
What was that?
Sorry, I meant for free.
Sure you did.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasslis.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You've heard about Tri-County Contracting and their worry-free roof tune-up. You've heard about their instant roof quote. But don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also handles windows. Our project at my home moving right along right now, and the process has been so easy and thorough. It's nice when you can trust the team you're working with and know that they are looking out for you. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and also windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 5:07.
A new study from MIT Media Lab finds ChatGPT, the artificial intelligence tool, may be doing more harm than good.
People who use ChatGPT to help write SAT-style essays consistently underperformed at neural, linguistic, and behavioral levels, according to researchers at MIT. Another group who used no technological aids were found to exhibit more brain function when writing, especially around creativity and memory load. The study is small and not peer-reviewed, though the researchers behind it say it was necessary to publish now because of the pace at which AI is being adopted. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. It wasn't without some tension.
The stretch, he stays, the pitch. Ground ball left side, that could be two to second for one. On to first, double play, ball game over.
Yeah, the Brewers did top the Cubs by a score of 8-7 this afternoon. The Brew Crew now headed up to Minneapolis tomorrow, where they'll take on the Twins. Coverage on WTMJ starts at 7:10.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:08.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, the best in the area. They're going to take care of you big time. You want to play pickleball. You want to golf. You want to play with your grandkids in the front yard and do it with no pain. Go to the place that has the highest patient satisfaction ratings and the top doctors in the area. It's Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. I've met the docs. I've walked through the hospital. It's absolutely incredible. They're going to take great care of you from beginning to end. Go to OHOW.com, hit the request an appointment button. OHOW.com, request an appointment.
Your basement. Ooh, wall cracks. Oh no, seepage. And stains on the bottom of those walls. Terrifying. The only thing scarier than basement issues are businesses that prey on your fear over those terrifying foundational cracks. The team at Gatish Foundation never uses high-pressure sales tactics. Over 90% of Gatish Foundation's jobs are through referrals. So, for an honest opinion on the condition of your basement, call Gatish Foundation today. Spelled G-A-I-Dish. Gatish.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Mike Spaulding and Julia Fello.
We are just 32 days, Mike, out from the EAA Air Venture. Dick Dupinski joins us from Oshkosh, where the airport there will be really busy, one of the busiest in the world, from July 21st to 27th. Dick, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's a great day for flying, and the Brewers won. What else could you want?
I know. It's fantastic. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the 9 air shows in 7 days. Can you talk about some of them?
Yeah, it is. Every day from the 21st through the 27th of July, we do have an afternoon air show. It starts around 2 o'clock, and then on Wednesday, the 23rd, and also on Saturday, July 26th, we have a night air show. So we put those out there as well. And a night air show is something special. During that, we'll have aerobatic teams. We'll have military airplanes. We'll have 600 drones flying. We'll have fireworks at the same time, and maybe a Goodyear blimp or two at the same time. So that's all going on in the night air shows. So not many places do 9 air shows in 7 days, but it's part of the magic of AirVenture.
Well, Dick, it's got to start feeling a little bit real, right? Because the campground's set to open, next Friday already? Do you get people that come in early, like a few weeks early, and either set up or just kind of hang out? Why open so early?
We've got a few things that happen there. First of all, we've got a lot of great volunteers. More than 6,000 volunteers work the event, and some of them are starting to come out right now to actually help us prepare for that. And so we start setting up the campground, and people want their spots year after year, and so they'll line up, pay for those spots weeks in advance, and to get the spots they like. And they've been doing it for years. It's a tradition. They like camping next to certain people and so forth, but never fear. If you're coming up to camp during the week, we've got plenty of room for you. We've never sold out of camping, and we've got enough fields to take care of everybody. But yeah, it gets real when it's down to campground opening next Friday.
And there's things to do all day and then into the night if you're camping. The evening programs at Theater in the Woods, Dick.
The evening programs are coming along. Boy, we've got everybody from NASA astronauts to World War II legends coming in there. The Air National Guard will be here this year, talk about it. We've got people who flew airplanes doing the firebombing during the L.A. fires, the wildfires last spring. They'll talk about that experience, what that's like, because very often you're flying blind through some very high wind conditions. What was that like? And they'll be talking about that as well. That's part of admission, starts every evening, 6:30, 7 o'clock at our Theater in the Woods, so you can sit under the canopy and enjoy it right there in the wooded area. And it's a great way to finish up your day each and every day at AirVenture.
Dick, I know it's getting down to crunch time. Certainly here at WTMJ, we are prepping our plans to be broadcasting live from EAA of course, on the Thursday of the show. But early bird discounts for admissions, a little bit of an extension here, right? People can still get in a little bit cheaper than they can if they wait till the last minute.
Yeah, we had a big bump just before our first deadline last weekend, and so we said, let's extend it out. We'll go to June 30th, so you can save a few bucks on tickets. And remember, 18 and under, always free. So bring the family up here. Go to EAA.org. Click on the Air Venture tab. You'll see the ticket tab right there. You'll see the air show schedules. You'll see some of the things that'll be out on Boeing Plaza. You'll see those evening program schedules. It's all right there, including the tickets, so you can save through June 30th.
So entertaining. The children and adults learn so much. Go to EAA.org and get your tickets early for your discounts. It ends June 30th. Dick Dopinski at EAA, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. Have a great weekend.
All right, see you soon. It's 5:14 on WTMJ.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Hey, John Mercure here. I love Otto's Wine and Spirits. It makes me smile. Served in Milwaukee since 1945. It's where I buy my wine. It's where I buy my beer. It's where I buy my spirits. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits, employee-owned, friendly staff, 7 locations. They know what they're doing. They've got the best prices at Otto's. They've got the best selection. Open 7 days a week with several locations. Milwaukee, Menominee Falls, which is where I go. Elm Grove, Brown Deer, Cedarburg. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits. They are the real deal. Buy it at Otto's. Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Experience Wisconsin. What a better place to spend the summer than here in Wisconsin. It doesn't exist. This is the place to be. And on Experience Wisconsin, we spin you around the state and introduce you to some pretty cool places and the people that are in those places. This week on Experience Wisconsin, it's Elkhorn and Milwaukee downtown. It is Saturdays at 1 o'clock on WTMJ. It's Experience Wisconsin. Family, romantic, all around great get-together ideas. We hope you'll join us.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment, flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lazaga, how are the roads right now?
Well, we still have some delays along southbound 41 from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound's backing up from about Mayfair Road all the way up past Capitol. We do still have this accident on the right shoulder on 894 southbound, just south of Greenfield Avenue. More delays then continue from Lincoln all the way down and around the Hale interchange to Forest Home. On southbound 43, got some backups from about Good Hope Road in pockets all the way down past Silver Spring. You're back on the brakes from Capitol Drive to Fond du Lac, and then once you make it through the Marquette, it starts to slow down off the high-rise bridge all the way down to the KK River. Northbound's backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly clear tonight, a low of 65. Tomorrow, a slight chance of rain. Will be partly cloudy throughout the day, mostly tomorrow, a high of 82. Then we have a 3-day extreme heat watch for Kenosha, Racine, and Milwaukee County. The high temperatures across southeast Wisconsin could be 95 to 98 degrees, and the heat index will make it feel like it could be 103 to 106 degrees. Saturday and Sunday will be quite breezy, then less of a breeze on Monday. The high temperatures on Monday will fall back into the mid-80s. There's a possibility of thunderstorms Monday night. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 77 degrees.
A little bit of a throwback on this one. This is Fabulous, the rapper. He'll be headlining the U.S. Cellular Connection stage tonight at 10 p.m. on day number 1 of Summerfest.
So exciting. Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast is sponsored by Dave Drakamp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Visit davedrakamp.com. Something to look out for if you're doing anything outside. Maybe not Summerfest. Something creepy and seriously dangerous is crawling through our state. Most recently spotted in Reedsburg. It's the Asian needle ant. What makes this ant so different? Its sting hurts really bad. So think about sharp, burning pain. Some people compare it to being stabbed with a hot needle. And these ants can hide in mulch or leaf piles and rotting wood, waiting to sting when you least expect it. If you text WATCH to our Setting Limited Talk and Text line, WATCH, 855-616-1620. Our producer Nate is going to put up a photo of it.
It's up there right now.
Unlike tiny black ants that you're used to seeing, the Asian needle ant is slightly larger, dark brown in color with light-colored, almost orangey legs and a slender wasp-like body. It also moves more slowly, which somehow makes it even creepier. Wisconsinites, especially gardeners and outdoor lovers, you need to take it seriously. It thrives in warm, wet summer days, like what's coming up. So you can keep it at bay from your house by clearing out any soggy clutter around your home, including leaf and dead wood.
You know how after you have a barbecue and, like, you know, it's late night, the fire's, like, kind of going out, and you're like, all right, I'm ready to go to bed. Maybe we'll clean up tomorrow. This is like that fuel to clean up right now.
Oh, I
like
totally
looking at
agree.
this thing right now, like I'm never leaving any food or anything out at my house ever again.
Oh, my goodness. All right. It's 5:19 on WTMJ.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here, and I'm super excited because Kohler Services just transformed my old bathtub into a beautiful new Luckstone shower. Kohler Services made it super easy. They came to my home, they helped me design my custom shower, and they hauled away my old tub when it was time to install. Stephen, Luke, and Will were awesome. They were focused, professional, super clean, and quiet. I'd recommend them to anyone. And they've got a great deal going on right now. No interest for 12 months. A free shower door with purchase of Kohler Luckstone shower. It's a great deal. It's a $1,000 value, plus installation is included. So you can request your free quote for a custom Kohler Luckstone shower by visiting KohlerServicesWI.com. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. The big focus in America today is on your health, right? So why aren't you feeling any better? Your knees always hurt, your shoulders keep you from exercising, and you're done with all the pills and the steroids, and you cringe at the thought of surgery. You've done everything, but the pain is always there. It's exhausting. This is when you got to call QC Kinetics. It's revolutionary treatment. It works to give your body long-term relief. Regenerative treatments takes your body's own healing power and helps and restore your damaged tissue. Call QC Kinetics today and get yourself a free sit-down. Talk to Dr. Justine Bennon. She's great. I've met with her. You can walk through the process with her. She explains it in a way that's understandable, and she can do the same for you. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today and get your life back. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Sarah, how are you going to do a raised vegetable garden on this tiny condo balcony?
Grab that Craftsman drill and let's hang that trellis on the ceiling.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like assorted Fizzcars Ergo Series garden hand tools, $7.99, and new at Blaine's AgriMaster Premium Pine Shavings, just $5.99 each.
Upside down tomatoes, here we come.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
It's my anthem right there.
It is. I didn't know that up until 3 minutes ago. This, of course, Natasha Bedingfield with Unwritten. She'll be headlining the Briggs & Stratton Big Backyard at 10 o'clock tonight. I was telling Sandy Max earlier today that I think this Natasha Bedingfield, every year Summerfest has that like a little unexpected, very popular person. I think that's going to be Natasha Bedingfield this year. Like everyone I've talked to is super excited to see her. I think the Briggs & Stratton Big Backyard is going to have quite the crowd tonight.
If I had off tomorrow, I would go. If I didn't have work tomorrow, I'd totally go. But I'll be there in spirit for sure. Okay, we are going to be talking about Extreme Heat Watch coming up this weekend with meteorologist Brian Isnansky. Speaking of Summerfest, that's coming up in about 10 minutes. The weather is brought to you by Sweet Talks Med Spa. Self-love starts at Sweet Talks. And now that the weather has finally turned warmer, there's one activity that is undoubtedly the king of Wisconsin summers, boating. In this month's Driver's Ed with Deb, we take a look at how we can be safer on the water.
If you're anything like me, you're just itching to hit the beautiful waters of Wisconsin this summer. Whether you're cruising on a pontoon, zipping on a speedboat, water skiing, or out for just a nice paddle, getting out on the lakes is what summer's all about. But before you launch into full-on fun mode, we should go over a little boater safety. To get the real scoop on staying safe on the waters, I caught up with one of the DNR's conservation wardens, Lieutenant Nick Miofsky, and he's really seen it all out there. Like one of the most common boat blunders, not wearing those life jackets.
If you're gonna be out on the water, especially as a boat operator, make sure your boat has the correct number of life jackets for everybody on board your boat. And make sure those life jackets are in good condition and make sure they're the right size and fit for everybody on the boat. So if you have children on the boat, make sure you have enough youth life jackets that are gonna be the correct size and fit for those children as well as adults. And make sure they're accessible at all times. We advocate as wardens that you wear your life jacket at all times, but they just need to be on the boat and accessible for everybody.
So life jackets are not just a suggestion, they're a key piece of equipment. And before you say they're too bulky and uncomfortable,
there's a lot of new technology in life jackets as well. There's a lot of low profile type life jackets that if you see us out on the water, we always wear our life jackets, and they're a lot more low profile than those bulky life jackets.
And that goes for not only on motorboats, but also when you go out on a canoe or a paddleboard. By law, you need to have a life jacket with you at all times. So no more excuses. Just look for those low profile jackets that are designed for comfort. Another must-have on board? A fire extinguisher.
Any boat that has enclosed compartments in it that can get combustible gases in there needs to have a fire extinguisher on board. It's just good practice to have a fire extinguisher on board a boat at all times. And that's something that we do look for when we do our boat safety checks.
Hopefully you'll never need it, but if you do, you'll be glad it's there. He also mentioned securing your boat's battery and don't overload the boat. Always check your weight capacity for your vessel. Since Wisconsin waterways are truly legendary, they can get packed.
Obviously, weekends are a lot busier than weekdays, so we tend to see more of our boat accidents happen, on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday time frame. So just being aware of that and being aware that it's a popular time to be out on the water and just be extra cautious. Another big thing is to check the weather before you go out. Weather can change rather quickly in Wisconsin. And just being aware of storms coming in, especially if you're on a bigger body of water.
And finally, if you're at the helm, there are some more important rules of the road. Water.
Anybody born after January 1st, 1989 would need to take a boater safety course. And that can be done online or in person. So it's a very easy course to take. And it's just like having a driver's license to operate a car. We're going to check for that. It is a violation if you're operating a boat without that boater safety certificate.
Remember, responsible boating means more fun for everybody. So grab those modern, comfy life jackets, check your gear, be mindful of the crowds and the weather, and make sure you're properly certified. Then go out there and make some amazing summer memories safely. You can make a stop on WTMJ.com to get more details on some of the DNR rules. Debbie Laziga, WTMJ News.
All right, we'll get to Debbie. We'll have all of your top stories and your weather coming up after this.
I'm John Mercure. Welcome to our Everyday Health feature, sponsored by the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. From fighting infections to delivering nutrition, advances in science are making it possible and easier for more and more patients to get advanced treatments through infusion therapy. Here to talk to us about that is Brian Condro, Clinical Services Business Liaison with Freighter Home and Specialty Infusion. Brian, welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you, John.
Let's start with the basics. What is infusion therapy?
Infusion therapy is treatment that gives a patient a specialty medication, antibiotic, or nutrition intravenously, which means it goes directly into the bloodstream. Patients can receive infusion therapy in their home or a specialized infusion suite. Really, the healthcare condition, the medication being prescribed, help to determine where care is provided optimally.
What's the difference between home and specialty infusion?
Home infusion refers to receiving a traditional IV antibiotic or nutrition given through a vein. Patients may receive that medication in their home, and we can also teach the patients or their caregivers to self-administer the medication and nutrition. Specialty infusion is also given through a vein. However, a healthcare professional must give the specialty infusion medication.
Why should people choose Freighter Infusion Services?
Great question. Freighter Infusion Services offers both home and specialty infusion care. Our service is accredited by the Joint Commission for Specialty Pharmacy and Infusion Suite Services. We have 6 specialty infusion suites located all the way from Oshkosh through the greater Milwaukee area and down to Kenosha. Our healthcare team is highly trained and skilled at infusion care. Our team closely monitors the patient's care and is available 24/7, 365 days a year to answer any questions.
Brian, thank you for being with us today. You can learn more about Freighter Infusion Services by visiting freighter.com/infusion therapy.
Traffic is brought to you by the Golden Mast Inn. Visit them at goldenmastin.com. Stop by the Golden Mast for live comedy on Okauchee Lake. Enjoy dinner and a show on Friday, June 27th with comedian John DeBoer. Get your tickets at goldenmastin.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It is 5:30. I'm Julia Fello. Your top story this half hour, a summer staple returns to the lakefront.
I'm Mike Spaulding. Multiple shootings only miles and hours apart.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Eastbound 94, a heavy ride from Highway 16 pretty much all the way past Barker Road. You're back on the brakes at the Zoo interchange all the way to 35th Street, and a couple of pockets heading into downtown. On the westbound side, we got delays from west of Moreland Road all the way to Brookfield Road, and then again from Blue Mound all the way to about Highway 164. And delays along southbound 43 stretching from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Fond du Lac Avenue area, only to clear up right through the Marquette. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Clear tonight, a low of 65. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a slight chance of rain, a high of 82. Right now, it's 70 and partly sunny. There's an extreme heat watch coming up this weekend. Meteorologist Brian Stansky is joining us in about 5 minutes to talk about that. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, today is the day. The big gig is here. Plenty of excitement along the lakefront on this first day of Summerfest.
Calvin Elmore and a group of friends were some of the first people on the festival grounds.
I mean, the weather, the environment, the stages, being able to walk around and see 10 different bands on one day. And then obviously a couple of the headliners this year.
Other festival goers tell me they're hoping for perfect weather all 3 weekends to enjoy the music on the lakefront. At Summerfest, Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
WTMJ also broadcasting live from the big gig tonight. Sandy Max takes What's on Tap on the road, begins at 6 p.m. In international news, the White House now saying that President Donald Trump set to make a decision on a potential Iranian attack plans within the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, 3 U.S. aircraft carriers are set to arrive in the Middle East, and the Defense Department is getting assets into the region into a defensive position. ABC News Pentagon reporter Luis Martinez.
Over the next 2 weeks, what we're going to see is a larger U.S. military presence in the region, because this weekend we're going to see the arrival of a second aircraft carrier in the Middle East. And over early next week, we're going to see the departure of another aircraft carrier. Now, it was a regularly scheduled deployment to the U.S. European Command Theater of Operations, but it's going to place it in the Mediterranean Sea just around the same time as this 2-week time frame.
As of today, 240 people have been wounded after an Iranian missile struck an Israeli hospital.
The Milwaukee Police Department's plan to use facial recognition technology in criminal investigation draws criticism from many community members.
Under the plan, MPD would enter into contracts with data company Biometrica, granting them access to 2.5 million mugshots. Chief of Staff Heather Hall reassuring the city's Equal Rights Commission Wednesday.
It compares images obtained during criminal investigations with lawfully possessed arrest photos.
But some community members aren't convinced.
Technology that misidentifies people cannot be the foundation of our public safety.
MPD is already using the tech in partnership with neighboring departments, and per Act 12, department heads can set their own policies. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
One person's dead, another person's injured after a double shooting on Milwaukee's northwest side. Police say that it happened just after 6 o'clock this morning near Fairmount and Hopkins. They say that a 23-year-old died of their injuries while a 19-year-old is being treated at the hospital. Police right now looking for unknown suspects. This shooting comes after 2 people died in a double shooting just roughly 3 miles away.
A sentencing date changed for convicted murderer Maxwell Anderson. He was found guilty in the death and dismemberment of 19-year-old Shawty Robinson after first date last April. His sentencing has now been moved up from August 15th to August 1st. That's a Friday. He could face a maximum penalty of life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Cryptocurrency now one step closer to becoming a regulated currency in the U.S. Marquette professor of finance David Krause telling WTMJ's Point Taken just how the U.S. Senate has approved for stable coins to be used in the country.
So a stable coin acts just like a gift card. It's stable or pegged or fixed in value. Whereas think of a meme coin or Bitcoin being more like target stock, which can go up and down with the whims of the market.
And Krause says that with an established dollar value and stable coin, lawmakers are more comfortable with consumers using that form of digital currency.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brew Crew beat the Chicago Cubs 8-7. They head up to Minneapolis tomorrow to take on the Twins starting at 7:10 p.m. The Green Bay Packers set the dates for training camp, which will kick off on Wednesday, July 23rd, will run to Friday, July 25th, and the annual shareholders meeting will start at 3 p.m. on that Friday after practice. Game 6 of the NBA Finals tonight with Oklahoma City Thunder leading the series 3-2. And tip-off starts at 7:30.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Times, 5:35.
Save big money on your outdoor project at Menards. We make landscaping simple with our free, easy-to-use design program and step-by-step project guides. Plus, Menards has the largest in-stock selection of concrete landscape block at the best prices. Save big on everything when you shop at Menards. Visit us in-store or on menards.com to see our full selection of landscape blocks and get your outdoor project started today.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry. I love Guthrie and Fry. I've got their water softener, the salt delivered right to the basement. Their RO system, which filters the water in our house. What we drink, what we cook with is crisp, clean, clear. It's Guthrie and Fry water conditionings, the best in the business. They also provide well pump system service, routine service, and emergency service. For when you need it, they've been doing that since 1974. At Guthrie and Fry, they know that better water makes a big difference. The teams I trust are at Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
He is the chief meteorologist, the chief, wearing glasses. It's getting serious. Brian Isnansky with TMJ4 News. Hey, how are you doing? Why are you wearing glasses on TV?
Eyes, yeah, I don't know. The eyes are not happy with the contacts again today. Maybe I just need to replace them. I'm still old school. I do the monthlies. I know people have been selling me on the daily things. I don't know. I'm economical.
Oh, for sure. I love the dailies. It's more clean. Yeah. It feels more clean.
Okay.
Well, maybe it's because of our massive heat dome that's set to bring high temperatures. Is that it? What is a heat dome anyways?
It's what we're going to feel this weekend. It does not look good this weekend, guys. We're looking at easily the hottest temperatures of the year so far and may end up being the hottest we get this summer.
So that being said, are we talking dangerous temps here?
Yeah, 100%, Mike. This is a time where, I can see the social media comments now and the posts or the phone calls. It's summer. It gets hot. I mean, I know. I get that. But these are going to be a few of the days where, you do have to take seriously. You do have to limit your time outdoors. You do have to limit your activity. I would not want to be baking in the sun for 6 straight hours and not drinking any water on Sunday. We're talking heat index values that are going to be in the triple digits and maybe as high as 110. And that's why the National Weather Service has issued an excessive heat watch for Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday for Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha counties. But I could see what will eventually be either a heat advisory or an excessive heat warning issued for pretty much everywhere across southeastern Wisconsin.
Yeah, we're not used to that. I mean, Wisconsin is not used to that. We're used to the extreme cold.
Yeah.
That's really hard on our bodies.
Yeah, we don't get to the extreme heat warning level too often. We did last year, but it's usually we get this hot like every few summers or so. So yeah, this is a little bit out of the ordinary. It's definitely something that everybody should be aware of as we head into the weekend. If you're heading down to Summerfest, don't be slamming like 8 brews and no water or anything like that. Like seriously, take it easy. You don't want to find yourself on like one of the back ends of one of those little mini Bell ambulance carts because
so
you were overdoing it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so just don't overdo it. Just be smart.
And how about taking care of your car? The DOT, did you see that? There's the possibility of pavement buckling.
Yep. We're coming out of, we transitioned really quick, didn't we? We went from like 40s and 50s to, potentially 100-degree heat here. The pavement is fluctuating, and the potential, we get some buckling of the pavement this weekend. So another reason to keep your speed down, especially on those city streets.
Yeah, Niz, as we talk about the excessive heat warning and what could come of that, is this one of those instances where is shade going to be helpful, or is it just going to be kind of that heavy, wet air that just makes you feel miserable?
Yeah, the humidity is going to be way up there too, and that's why the heat index values are potentially up to 110. Sure, shade helps. Shade is better than no shade. If you're going to be outside, if you have a picnic, if you are going to be at Summerfest, try your best to find shade as much as you can. That will certainly help the cause. But yeah, this is an accumulative thing too, which is why the Weather Service is leaning towards that extreme heat versus the heat advisory, because even the nighttime, we're only going to fall into the 70s at most, probably in the 80s for much of the night, and very, very humid. So if you don't have air conditioning, that can get very taxing on the body. So this is heat that historically in the past, when we've gotten this hot in Milwaukee, people die. And I know that sounds like a big alarmist or whatever, but it's true. Like whether you had prior issues or not, people who do not have air conditioning, if elderly, people who, maybe aren't in the greatest of shape, tend to, can be fatal for this stuff. So, hopefully, if you don't have air conditioning and you live in a hot building, you are utilizing the cooling shelters and obviously other ways to stay cool.
Hey, I know you're going to give us the 5-day forecast in a minute, but I couldn't help but notice in your forecast that we get sent, there is a possibility of some rain coming on Monday. Do you think that'll come with some relief as well from the heat?
Yeah, the Monday chance of rain is probably late afternoon and evening, and that will be with a weaker frontal boundary that will be dipping down. It's not like a significant cold front. However, it cools us back into the 80s by Tuesday, and then maybe highs only in the 70s on Wednesday. It looks like this is going to be truly like a 3-day event. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but super hot, guys.
Wow. Okay. Take us home with the 5-day if you can, Brian.
Sure. Yep, sounds good. Slight chance of a shower or storm overnight tonight. I think if you're heading to Summerfest, it looks dry this evening, so you're good to go. 64 for a low. Some rain possible tomorrow morning, then becoming mostly sunny and breezy. Quite warm tomorrow, a high of 86. Now Saturday, here we go. Sunny, breezy, hot and humid, a high of 96. Heat index of 108. Sunday, sunny, hot and humid, a high of 98 actual temperature. I wouldn't be shocked if we make a run at 100 actual temperature on Sunday, heat index of 110, and then Monday, hot and humid with a slight chance of storms and a high of 93 degrees.
Wow, he is Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky with TMJ4 News. Brian, we'll be talking to you from Summerfest tomorrow.
All right, that sounds good to me. I'll be out there too. We got our
cool.
our Children's Fest shows. Northwest Mutual stage 1 3:30 and 3:15, I believe. So come
maybe
check
you can
us out.
stop over by us.
I'll make a point. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, thanks, Brian.
Hey, wait, what time? Okay, I got the newscast at 5.
I know.
If I can, I will be there.
I know.
Yes.
By the lagoon. That's
Yeah.
where we are. All right. Thank you so much.
Cool.
5:42 on WTMJ. Debbie Gets You Home coming up next.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
After writing 3 unsuccessful offers, Brenda decided to make a no-regrets offer on this next property. She offered $35,000 over asking and promised to complete the purchase even if the appraised value came in as much as $25,000 below the accepted offer price. Why? Because she was tired of losing, and because her AccuNet loan consultant showed her that even in her worst-case scenario, no additional money would be needed at closing, and her payment, which on this home was much more affordable than others she wrote offers on, would only increase by $17 a month. Brenda's no-regrets offer, backed up by a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet, was accepted over several others. And wouldn't you know, the appraised value came in at the significantly higher than asking purchase price, which happens 9 out of 10 times in our experience. If you or someone you know wants help understanding what a no-regrets pre-approval might look like, get started by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Hearing matters. It's not only about hearing better and interacting better, it's about protecting your health. Vita Hearing Care are going to take great care of you. Locally family-owned, 2 locations, Mount Pleasant and Waterford. I've been there. They've helped me. I have new hearing aids, and it's about embracing life's meaningful moments for me, my wife. Life is better. Every conversation, melody, and memory should be effortless. Vita will help get you there. Check out VitaHearingCare.com. That's VITA HearingCare.com.
Why settle for just the job when you could have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee new car dealer members have service, technician, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam new car dealer.
For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.jobs. That's ADAMM.jobs.
If you missed this,
can you talk about how often officers are ending up at schools and how difficult those situations are?
3,100 calls a school year. It was about 17 calls a day.
Or this.
Handpicking the press pool. What are your thoughts on that?
I have many, as you might imagine. I've been in the press pool covering the White House, the greatest privilege of my repertorial life.
Catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast at WTMJ.com. Presented by Dave Draycamp Heating.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
546 on WTMJ. All right, let's get a look outside with Debbie Lassica. Hey, Deb, how are the roads?
Hey, Julia. Eastbound 94. We've got a crash in Waukesha County. It is just past, about 2 miles past Highway 83, off on the shoulder. Looks like a car ended up off of the roadway, off on its side. Emergency crews are on the frontage road right near there, right near Elmhurst Road. So give yourself some extra time. Both directions are slowing down to take a look at this, so please be careful. Other than that, we've got more delays eastbound heading through the Barker Road area, then back on the brakes from the zoo all the way to 35th Street. We do have a broken down vehicle off on the right shoulder at 35th. And that seems to be, I don't know if that's what is slowing things down, but right after that, it kind of opens up. Starts to slow down again once you get past the Marquette onto 794 as folks are heading into Summerfest. Northbound on 43, slowing from North Avenue up to Keefe. The southbound side has pockets from Good Hope Road down to Silver Spring, then back on the brakes south of Capitol Drive down towards Burleigh. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
some sugar on me. Def Leppard, they are tonight's big headliner at the American Family Insurance Amphitheater. They'll be taking the stage about 7:30 or 8-ish. Night number 1 of Summerfest is upon us, and we really couldn't ask for nicer weather. I know we got a little bit of rain, but
my family is friends with Rick Allen.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're not going backstage or anything?
No, I didn't even realize that he was going to be here. But no, we have so many things that he signed and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he drums with just his right hand.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible,
It
actually.
is.
Being like an 80s heavy metal hair band to have one arm, you're drumming pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's super cool. And Natasha Bedingfield at 10 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, we're going to go see both.
Could it be any different? Okay, so there's so much to do this summer, Mike, but we have Summerfest, festivals, concerts, a lot to do, Brewers baseball, but beware, 'tis the season for summer ticket scams. I spoke to Ram Silverman this afternoon. He's owner of GoldenTickets.com. And let's say that you're going to a baseball game and someone tries to sell their tickets to you. This is his advice.
Before you give any money to anybody out at the venue, that the tickets are transferred in your account, whether it be a Ticketmaster account or an AXS account or SeatGeek account, make sure the tickets are in your account before you pay them. And to be quite honest, if you did buy something from somebody at the venue, you could say, look, the only way I'm going to buy these from you is walk me over to the gate and make sure I get in.
I'd do that. I wouldn't be bashful. I'd be like, show me the money. I want to make sure it all works out. Wouldn't you?
Having a fake ticket is like one of my biggest fears in life. Like you buy it off the secondhand market and you get up there and you've waited in line, not because I'd be embarrassed because the ticket's fake. I'd be embarrassed because all those people behind you in line
and disappointed
would just be like, what's this guy doing? Oh,
I know.
It'd be terrible.
Exactly. And they'll be like, where'd you get that from?
Well, yeah, exactly.
He says he's already seeing victims of counterfeit tickets, especially on Craigslist.
You can't send money to somebody you don't know. I don't recommend that for anything that you buy. Buy on a credit card so that you are protected. People should do their homework. If somebody did say, well, I have some PDFs that I can send to you for you to print out, just do a Google search and say, is this event a mobile entry event or a paper ticket? And they'll tell you whether it is or not. And
be vigilant. Even with so much sophistication like digital tickets, Mike, because the scams have not gone down, he says you need to be aware even with those. And the Brewers have that. MLB has that.
Oh, we talk to people all the time who get victimized. People go online and they see a good deal that is just too good to pass up. They wind up sending money to somebody they don't know, and they get tickets that are just fake tickets. There are a few festivals that paper tickets are still involved, which are easy to, reproduce on a copy machine.
So he says that there's 250 brokers on natb.org. So that's the National Association of Ticket Brokers. And there's a code of ethics that they all sign and adhere to. So you can search any broker across our country and know that you're going to be treated right. There are 2 on our site that are from Wisconsin. That includes Ticket King. And by the way, Ram Silverman, owner of GoldenTickets.com, is on that as well. Again, that website is natb.org. It stands for the National Association of Ticket Brokers. And if you didn't write that down, you can always text our Citing Limit Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. I'll text you back with that link so then all of you can stay safe. You want to know one of the people that, I already said it, right? Ticket King, did I tell you that?
Yeah, Ticket King.
Is one of them?
Yeah, local.
Yes, right here in Milwaukee. All right, where are we going next,
You know
Mike?
who's not a scam ever and is always the real authentic deal?
The real deal.
Sandy Max, who we're joined with live right now. Sandy is actually at Summerfest in the big gig. And Sandy, you're taking What's on Tap on the road tonight and hosting from the mobile studio. How's the weather, first and foremost? I was looking on the radar, saw some rain. Then Diznansky says it's really hot. I was out there this afternoon. It was really hot. What's the weather like right now?
Absolutely gorgeous. Sunshine, a light breeze. It looks like it's just coming in from the north. You know where that hole-in-one little island is in the lagoon? The American flag and another red flag are flapping gently. So no, absolutely gorgeous, which I think also means not just no sprinkles and no wet rain on all the music fans for all the stages tonight, but at 9:30, the Big Bang fireworks, I assume, are going to be an absolute go. So an absolute beautiful summer night right now.
Fireworks, fabulous. We have Def Leppard. Natasha Bedingfield. I mean, how incredible is it, like this first night with the lineup? I think it's really good. I almost called you Deb. Sandy.
It is a packed lineup, and before I get way into it, let's talk about the headliner before we talk about the free stages. Tesla at 7:30 is opening up for Def Leppard. What a great bill if you love classic rock on the American Family Insurance Amphitheater. But Julia, come on, you've been holding out. You just dropped casually that you know the drummer of Def Leppard?
Oh, yeah.
Rick Allen?
A friend of the family, yeah.
I don't know why he's not in studio right now.
Absolutely, and I give huge credit to Def Leppard because, for a band back in the 80s at their height, when your drummer's in a terrible accident and loses an arm, there are a lot of other bands that would have said, boy, really sorry, we're going to move on without you. Instead, the band stuck together. They have accommodated him, and he plays with both feet and the one arm and hits the gong. I mean, he's an incredible drummer to watch, and Def Leppard, they are tight, they sound great, and they look great. You'll have a great time at the headliner show. But come on, I feel like with Juneteenth, and they purposefully booked some great bands like Gary Clark Jr. headlining on the Oasis tonight. The Isley Brothers, you make me want to shout. I can't wait to see the whole area around the BMO Pavilion throwing up their hands and dancing to that. That is going to be such a great show. That starts at 10 o'clock tonight on the BMO Pavilion. Natasha Bedingfield, she's going to be on the Briggs & Stratton Big Backyard. Everybody's going to be singing Unwritten. And probably a lot of people are hanging out to see Natasha Bedingfield after seeing Allie and AJ at 8 o'clock. And then you've got The Record Company, which is a Grammy-nominated band, but Chris Voss from Burlington. Now, The Record Company, they're based in L.A., but they're from Wisconsin. Thrilled to be back, and they're opening for the Allman Betts Band on the Uline stage. So it really is a thoughtful lineup tonight, full of music from every style of really notable artists. It's exciting.
How's the crowd, Sandy? What do you see?
It's good. It's good. It's one of those crowds where to me it's just right. It's enough people where you're where the action is, but you're not shoulder to shoulder. You're not shuffling. You can walk up to different booths if you want to. It's not a claustrophobic feeling. And I know a lot of people go, I don't like big crowds. I think it's going to get very busy later tonight. Sandy, with all those headliners I was just mentioning and the fireworks.
You had an opportunity to sit down with Summerfest CEO Sarah Pancari earlier this week and kind of get the lowdown on what's going to be going on at the festival. I feel like she's kind of really come into her own as the CEO after she took that role a couple of years ago. Did she give you any, her favorite pieces, anything beyond the music that we need to get out there and go see, whether it's tonight or any of the other 10 nights that this festival is going to be going on?
They are very excited at Summerfest to have evolved that JoJo's Martini stage into the Lasso Lounge. And it's a great themed, Nashville country-themed bar.
I know.
So they're really excited to bring that aspect of Music City to the world's largest music festival, complete with country DJs, live country music, country-themed cocktails and non-alcoholic beverages, and a mechanical bull.
Incredible. Sandy Max, What's on Tap is coming up right after we get to your business headlines. We're going to play a little bit of Shout. That was my first song on the dance floor for my wedding and so many other weddings. Your wedding, Mike? We have the same wedding date.
So we do have the exact same wedding date. My first song, I do not remember. So if my wife's listening, I'm sorry.
It was a blur. All right, Sandy Max, after the news and your business headlines, enjoy your night.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The Milwaukee Business Journal's 2025 Women of Influence list includes Baird Managing Director Meg Dean, Milwaukee Municipal Port Director Jackie Q. Carter, and Payne Consulting founder Kimberly Payne. A Minneapolis investment firm paid $19.1 million for a former Caterpillar Inc.